Jeremiah Powers from Ann Arbor MMA. We're going to talk about some basic boxing and kickboxing fundamentals. First thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the stance. So I'm going to start out with my feet slightly wider than shoulder width. My lead foot, which in this case is my left foot, is always going to be pointing forward or towards my opponent. My rear foot is angled off at about a 45-degree angle. I like to keep my heels off the mat. Makes mobility easy for me. I'm going to bend my knees slightly. From a relaxed position, I'm going to lift my hands straight up, tuck my chin, and roll my shoulders forward. There's my boxing stance. Elbows inside, chin tucked down. Okay? Light on the feet, able to move all directions effortlessly. Alright guys, talk about a couple punches first. The jab, cross, and the hook. First punch, the jab. I always want to measure the distance, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to throw that punch until I know I'm at that proper distance. The way I close that distance is by stepping forward with that front foot, following with the rear foot. As soon as I've closed that distance, I'm going to transfer my weight slightly from back to front, extend my punching hand straight out, okay? Turning my left shoulder towards my opponent. Left shoulder nice and high, guys. You can see my right hand is also nice and high. From the other angle, stepping forward with the lead foot. Hand comes straight out. Notice this side, right hand stays tight to the chin. Okay, when I draw the punch back, that comes back just as quick as the punch goes out. Alright, talk about the jab cross combination now. Stepping forward with the jab, full extension on the punch. Okay, make sure you're not jamming that punch up. I'm going to exchange my left hand and my right hand by twisting my entire body. Starting with my right foot, then my hip, my shoulder, then my hand. Same idea, guys. You want full extension on the punch. Twist that wrist at the moment of impact. Okay? 1, 2. Good. Once more. 1, 2. Alright, now we're going to talk about the hook punch. Actually, let's go across the side. That's why my hand. Alright, jab cross combination. Second angle. Stepping forward with the jab. Twisting the body. Following up with the cross. Alright, now we'll talk about the jab cross hook. So, stepping forward with the jab. Once more, full extension. Twisting the body, throwing the right hand. I'm going to twist my left shoulder towards my partner. I'm going to let my left elbow elevate. I'm going to let that punch come around my opponent's guard. Okay? Just like before, twisting that wrist on impact. 3-punch combination from the other side. Jab, cross, hook. Back to the guard quick. Once more. Jab, cross, hook. Back to the guard. Alright guys, Maya's going to talk a little bit about the defense of these punches now.
Alright. Defense for the jab, we can have 2 of them. You're either going to put out and catch or parry if you'd like. When you do this, you're going to be turning your shoulder in and you have your hand out in front of your face where the punch is going to land. I want to be strong with it and not let it come back and hit me in the face. So he's going to throw the punch and I'm going to catch it right there. If you want to parry, it's not going to be a big motion. It's going to be a small motion just to bump his hand down. So when he throws the punch, catching and parrying, setting up for the counters. So one more. Right there. No more than this. Otherwise you're going to get caught with another punch. From the other side. For defending the cross, I'm going to come up with a hard block. I'm putting my forearm in front of where he wants the punch to land. I'm going to keep my shoulder high, and when I do this, once again, I'm turning my shoulder into it, and I'm making sure that everything's tight and strong. So he's going to throw the jab across. From the other side. During this, both hands are up. When I got my hard block going, my left hand's still on my head. Now, blocking for the hook, it's going to be a wing block. I'm going to collapse my arm into my shoulder here. I'm going to bring my shoulder up and turn my arm over this way. I don't want any space in this area for the punch to land. Once again, I'm tight and I'm turning my shoulder with it. From the other side.
So we'll talk a little bit about the leg kick too. So a lot of times you'll see this strike set up with a lead hand technique, whether that's a hook or a jab. So really what I'm doing is I'm measuring distance. As soon as I figure I'm in the right distance, I'm going to fire that kick. Now that kick isn't a big sweeping motion. It's a short, straight strike. Okay. From the stance, like I said, closing the distance, when I'm inside that kickboxing distance, I'm lifting my leg straight up and turning the shin into the thigh of my partner. Now I want to keep my leg nice and loose when I'm doing this. The looser I keep my leg, the more whip-like the fashion will be when I strike. So from here, measuring distance, keeping the leg nice and loose, whipping that leg out and back to the guard, or back to the stance. We're striking with the shin, not the foot, okay? Strike with the shin, you're going to have a lot more power. You minimize the risk for injury too. So, one more time from the other angle. Okay, assuming we're inside kicking range, lifting the knee straight up, driving the shin in, bouncing it back to the stance. Now the other thing we want to talk about is our hand position here, okay? I'm keeping my hands always high in front of my face, okay? If I decide to throw my right arm back when I'm kicking, I'm going to get hit. So what I'm going to do, when I'm kicking with my right leg, I'm going to make sure I keep my right arm, my right elbow, and my right shoulder nice and high, guarding against any strikes. Okay? So here, boom, good. The other reason we want to do that, a lot of times when people will swing that right arm around, they're going to be blocking, but they're in a bad position to strike in combination. If my left hand is on the right side of my face, it's awfully hard to punch from right here. When I kick and I keep the right hand on the right side, left hand on the left side, it's easy for me to get back into a position to punch again. All right, guys. Talk about the defense real quick. Let's talk about the evasion, okay?
Evasion?
Yep.
Alright. When evading the kick, I'm going to be stepping back with my back leg first. As I take a step back, I'm bringing this foot back with me, and I'm using this hand as a counterbalance. If I just step back and try and bring this leg back, all my weight's going behind me. So when I step, it's going to be back leg first, front leg last. Step, step, with my counterbalance.